Welcome to Ski Technician Training for the Whitetail Resort Ski and Snowboard Rental Center. In this module, we will discuss how to determine the DIN. Calculating the DIN is the most critical thing that you will do as a ski rental technician. First, we will cover the definition of DIN, and then we will step through the process on how to calculate it. What is DIN? DIN is an abbreviation that stands for Deutsche Institut für Normung, a German organization that sets standards for various products and services. The DIN setting is a measure of binding releasability if physical forces on the binding exceed the setting on which the binding is set. The higher the DIN number, the more force needed for the boot to break free from the binding. The DIN is an international standard, so if a skier skis today at Whitetail, the Swiss Alps next week, and then Sapporo, Japan the week after that, the rental shop at each location will set the DIN to the same setting, regardless of the binding's manufacturer. There are 5 factors that are used to determine the DIN: the skier's skiing type, weight, height, age, and sole length of the boot being used. Skier type is the skier's self-assessment as to the type of skier he or she is. Type 1 skiers are typically entry-level skiers who are unsure of their classification. Their skiing style is cautious, and the DIN is set lower than average. Type 2 skiers tend to have more experience and improved skills than Type 1 skiers, but do not have the skills and more aggressive style of Type 3 skiers. Most skiers fall into the Type 2 category. Type 3 skiers are advanced skiers. Their skiing style is more aggressive and faster than Type 2 skiers, thus the DIN is set higher than average. This is the DIN chart and contains all the information you need to calculate the DIN: body weight, body height, and boot sole length. The numbers in the middle of the chart are the DIN settings to which you set the ski binding. When you have determined the DIN, you will annotate the skier code on ski rental documents. We will now demonstrate how to use this chart to calculate the DIN. We will use a sample skier who weighs 140 pounds, is 5 foot 3 inches tall, is a Type 1 skier, who is 40 years old, and is wearing a boot with a 276 millimeter sole length. First, identify the weight range of the skier. As the skier is 140 pounds, go to the 126 to 147 pound range. Next, identify the height range. The skier is 5 foot 3, so that is in the 5 foot 2 to 5 foot 5 range. Then, look at the skier code column and apply the skier type. If the skier is Type 1, stay on this row. The skier type is obtained from ski rental documentation. If the skier is Type 2, advance down 1 row. If the skier is Type 3, advance down 1 more row. Never go down more than 2 rows. Since our skier is Type 1, we stay on the same row. Now, to determine the final skier code, apply the skier's age. If the skier is age 9 and below, or age 50 and above, advance up 1 row towards the top of the chart. Otherwise, stay put. Our skier is 40, so we'll just stay put, and the final skier code is J, which you annotate on ski rental documentation. The last step is to apply boot sole length. Our skier has a 276 millimeter boot, So we now move across the road to the right until meeting the column for the skier's boot sole length. This is the retention setting to which you will set the ski binding, a din of 5. You will adjust both the toe and heel of each binding to this retention setting. So, what do you do if the skier's weight and height are not on the same row? You select the row for the column that is closer to the top of the chart. If our skier was 5 foot 0 inches, then you would apply skier code I and move right across the chart as appropriate. This concludes the DIN determination module of ski technician training for the Whitetail Resort Ski and Snowboard Rental Center. In this module, you learned what the DIN is and how to calculate it.